So I'm going to ask you a yes or no question. Do you think CS grads in 2024 and 2025 are cooked? Yes or no?
Who's watching this?
Probably a lot of CS grads.
Probably a lot of. I would say
AI is revolutionizing every industry, but what does this mean for us software engineers? Here's the thing, we're currently in the middle of an AI revolution, and if we're not careful, a lot of us are going to be left behind. 2 years ago, or even as recent as a year ago, there were still speculations on if AI was going to be, the next big thing, or if AI was going to take our jobs as software engineers. We knew AI was going to impact us as software engineers, but we didn't know when or how. Just to be clear, AI is not taking our jobs. I don't think it's gotten to that point yet where it can fully replace a software engineer. I don't think it's there yet. But what I do know is that AI is going to change how we write code and how we build products in the future. AI has gotten a lot more serious, and a lot of companies are now picking up on the trend. Meta just released their own version of AI called Meta AI. Apple just launched a new update where they released their own version of AI called Apple Intelligence, baked into the M4 chips of the MacBook Pros. In my opinion, that is next level integration. Also, healthcare organizations are now implementing AI to revolutionize healthcare diagnosis and research. I know this for sure because I have experienced it firsthand. And just in case you're not yet catching along yet, this means that in the next 5 to 10 years, every technology product out there will have artificial intelligence baked into them in some way, shape, or form. This is going to affect software engineers directly because if you think about it, every single technology product out there has some kind of software that makes it work. And this means that it's going to change how software engineers write the softwares for those products. Trust me, I did a lot of research on this and I realized that I can't answer this by myself. So what I did was I invited 3 of the best software engineers I know personally to come share their opinion on how AI currently impacts their roles as software engineers and how it's going to impact it in the future.
My name is Uma. I am a software engineer at Microsoft. I am currently a content creator as well, a career coach and co-founder. So I co-founded Candor.
my name is Victor, also known as your founder. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Insider Moves.
My name is Jubril Bakare. I'm a senior cloud engineer at Microsoft.
What are the biggest ways AI is changing how software engineers work today, and how do you see that evolving over the next few years?
Well, when we look at the age of AI or the emergence of the whole thing going on in the tech industry now, AI is no doubt the hottest topic. AI to me now, I use it daily, and it's kind of like working with a junior developer that can do some side work for me while I focus on the bigger picture, right?
It'll just help you get things done a lot faster, right? There is no need for you to go scroll through tons and tons of documentation, initially at least, to try to figure out how something is done, right? You can easily just ask AI and then it can simply just give it to you. Like, I see it somewhat replacing Stack Overflow in some sense for specific problems, but for the more complex, difficult problems, then you still have to obviously ask a person or ask a human. Yeah.
One of the things that I utilize it for within my day-to-day work, if it's my full-time work as a software developer working for a bank, it's mainly just to do unit testing, but I primarily just do it for unit testing because that's probably the least most tedious work that I like to get done.
I was using the new VS Code like AI editor called Cursor. I don't know if you've been able to try it out. It's very, very interesting. It does pretty much everything you want it to. Like, it's basically like having the code editor and then there's a prompt beside it and you ask it, and instead of you just asking it a question, it has context to the whole code because it's a code editor and it can do stuff for you. It was amazing what it could do. I was specifically trying to write unit tests for something that I hadn't written before. How do I start going to read documentation? And I just asked it and it just gave me everything. It took what would have taken maybe like 6 hours to just, get things ready to like maybe 15 minutes for me to just see the code that it's given and then get stuff done.
It has also sent the signal to organizations that people could be more productive with AI. So why do I need to hire 10 engineers when I can have 2 engineers that can do all these jobs with the help of AI?
I feel like the people that are most worried about AI, taking software engineers' jobs or AI being the next big thing are entry-level engineers or CS majors that are about to graduate. So do you think that AI tools like code generators, ChatGPT or GitHub Copilots that you mentioned are a threat to entry-level engineering roles, or are they just enhancing the productivity of developers like yourself, senior developers, and also entry-level software developers?
That's a very valid question.
I wouldn't call them a threat. but I will call them something to look out for.
I would say just based off of how the market acted this year, 2024, is yes.
If you look back to when the calculator was invented, for example, right? People used to do math by hand, right? People used to do those differential equations, those differentiation, integration, all those complex stuff, right? But then we have calculators and these complex systems that can now do them for you. It didn't mean that, mathematicians went away. Nah, they're still there. They're just solving different types of problems. But at the same time, the need for those people who could only do those simple math problems or those complex math problems, they were no longer needed, right? That's the way I kind of think about it.
A lot of the people who just recently graduated, who have a tech degree, a STEM degree, have been battling with being able to find their first full-time job. And if we were thinking of 2021 all the way up to 2023, it wasn't as much of a homework or exercise to land your first job as a techie.
It won't replace you if you're really good at what you do and you have a solid understanding of it. But if AI is able to spit out code that you can do without the critical reasoning and without the thinking part of it, then to an extent, yeah, you need to be worried. It's not a threat, but at the same time, if it's able to do what you are able to do, then you may want to kind of think about how you can then level up your skills, right?
But I think because of AI, of course, because of how the market has shifted towards AI, a lot of executives, a lot of those that are in charge of making those decisions with the hiring, decided to take a huge halt entirely and just say, hey, let's go ahead and pause the hiring process and see if we can leverage AI to kind of fill in the gap that we would have been able to fill in the past with an entry-level engineer.
Instead of needing 5 engineers, where one is a senior engineer and maybe 2 or 3 are like mid-level or low-level engineers, you now need maybe 3. One senior engineer and 2 mid-level engineers, and add AI to it, right? Because then the AI can go write up all this code that may be garbage or not garbage, but then you then have the mid-level and the senior people then looking through it to say, okay, this is not needed, this is needed, and stuff like that. But I don't think we've gotten there yet, right? I think we're far away from there. But we're definitely getting to a point where for very, very simple things, it can generate some code that actually works.
We've spoken about, engineers in general, but also entry-level engineers and junior engineers to, level up their skills and upskill. What skills do software engineers need to develop to stay relevant as AI becomes more embedded in our tech workflows?
Engineers need to focus on developing skills in the areas like, for example, data science, machine learning, because even AI needs human interference. You need to train a model, you need to build logics behind the model. So junior engineers should focus on including data science in their skills, machine learning, and understanding how the AI models works under the hood. Additionally, I think it's very important to have a basic understanding of cloud platform concepts, like APIs and integrating AI solutions into applications or larger systems. These are the new skill sets that are now being expected from entry-level engineers. So things that have gradually shifted from in the past, like 2020, 2019, you probably need to know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you make it into Fang. Now the bar has been raised a little bit now. You need to come in with a little bit more skill set. You don't have to be like a cloud architect or anything. We all understand that they are entry-level engineers, but then there are some basic concepts on the cloud, on the machine learning, on the data science that they need to know, not necessarily all. This call for more inclusion in their skill set for what they are bringing into the company.
Speaking of ways to level up your skills as a software engineer, Datacamp was kind enough to sponsor today's video. If you want to boost your AI skills for the constantly changing job market, I strongly recommend Datacamp's learning tracks. There is a course I personally like and I am currently taking on their platform. It's called the Associate AI Engineer for Developers track. This program offers a comprehensive foundation in AI through courses like the large language model operations concept, working with the OpenAI API and Hugging Face, prompt engineering for developers, and so many more. You will go through all the AI skills you will need as a developer with 30 hours worth of high quality video materials. What I really like about Datacamp's learning experience is the combination of short focused videos with hands-on learning exercises. Doing is the best way to learn. And with the Datacamp methodology, you can actively apply your new AI skills directly with their in-browser experience. If AI is something you would like to specialize in, or just something you want to, have more idea about to stay ahead of the curve, definitely check them out. Where do you see the role of software engineers in the next 10 years as AI continues to evolve? What are the little changes? Like, do you think there's any way our day-to-day activities as software engineers are going to change in the next 10 years, as AI continues to get better?
That's a question I think a lot of us have been asking ourselves, especially those coming into the industry and those leaving the industry.
I see the entry level role changing. I see the bar getting raised higher. Knowing the simple stuff isn't going to cut it anymore when there's an AI model that can do it. Ultimately, if an AI model, right? I don't know if you've seen the video of the new Devon AI that will work for like $8 an hour. Where it's a Slack integration. You just tell it to do something Slack and it does its own thing, and then it comes back and gives you the link and all of that, right? It handles the deployment, it handles everything too, right? That's for very simple workflows. And if, AI models can do that, then ultimately it just raises the bar. Just raises the bar for what software engineers are able to do. And ultimately you have to learn how to use AI as a tool, but you also have to understand what works, how things work underneath the hood. That's why I keep preaching it. I will always preach it, right? Like, don't stick to just the high level stuff, right? It's like, once you understand the high level stuff, right? Like, that intrinsic motivation to understand how this thing really works, push you to go figure out what's happening under the hood, right? Like, I make a lot of videos about, either compiled versus interpreted language, right? How does React work under the hood? How is React different from Next? How, just all those little things about, okay, this is how this thing really, really works, and I have a solid understanding of it. I think that's what will set you apart, because ultimately, if you're writing code and you know why the code is doing something in a specific way, that sets you apart from more than half of people, because people just typically take to, oh yeah, if it works, it works. Why does it work?
System design will be a very core requirement. Like, an average programmer needs to understand system design, even as an entry level, and also how to leverage AI rather than just writing some code, because it will now become a point whereby writing some code or classes will be like a waste of time. So AI will do that, and then you pick it up from there.
Don't be okay with whatever you're doing. Oh yeah, I just do this and then that. Oh great. What other questions do you have, right? Dig deeper, because ultimately the ones who will survive will be the ones who know things that other people don't.
One thing I would also say, job market, I think, is going to be opening up. Reason being, myself as an entrepreneur, as a founder of Insider Moves, one of the things that I see is how easy it is to build product that you own 100% of. And as long as you are somebody who is comfortable and confident and being able to build out that front end, back end, and that CI/CD process of deploying it every Friday or whenever you're asleep, being able to build out a startup is going to be more simple. It's going to be more of a breeze. In fact, I'm building out my third startup as we speak, because of the ability that I'm, have with my skill sets and being able to take advantage of AI for certain things.
I don't know if you've been saying the old TikTok about CS is cooked. So I'm going to ask you a yes or no question. Do you think CS grads in 2024 and 2025 are cooked? Yes or no?
Who's watching this?
Probably a lot of CS grads.
Probably a lot of. I would say, for you guys, I would say no.
No. I think the bar has just been raised higher.
I would say temporarily it is, but I definitely think in the future it's going to be a no. I don't see it as a full-on replacement of individuals who have such a tremendous skill set to be able to contribute to a company.
What I could get away with during my day is different from what you could get away with during your day. First of all, there's so many levels to it. Let's start at the college level, right? What do you need to get a job, right? You need some sort of, you need to have a good GPA, right? You need to have taken your data structures and algorithms, and you need to go for career fairs or also apply online. That's the bare minimum, right? Clearly, the amount of roles that are there is not enough for everyone who's going to do this thing. The question is, what do you now do more? What do you do to set yourself apart? That's when you now need to go back to what the companies are looking for, what the companies are asking for themselves. For example, working on projects, right? You work on a project. You deploy that project on a cloud service or on whatever place. Your project has X amount of users, right? You've now built this thing from this stage to this stage to this stage. You know what I'm talking about because I know you've done it. You get yourself in front of a hiring manager, and I'm not talking recruiter at career fair. You go in front of a hiring manager, try to find yourself there by either going to meetup groups, going to conventions, I don't know, finding a way to get yourself directly in front of them, and you talk to them about the way you have built software with your own personal intrinsic motivation, right? You're not getting paid for that personal project, right? You do that, I guarantee you will land an internship, or at very least land a job interview.
So after listening to Omar, Jubril, and Victor for a couple hours, one thing is crystal clear. The bar for entry-level software engineers has been raised significantly. The opportunities are still there, but they don't look the same way they looked 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. The days of graduating with your CS degree and waiting for jobs to, rush to you, those days are over. You need to work 3 times as hard as those guys that graduated in 2018, 2019, or 2020 to land those entry-level jobs. You need to be hungry, you need to be eager to learn, and most importantly, inquisitive. Don't just be comfortable consuming those frameworks and tools. You need to go deeper and understand how those things work under the hood. That curiosity alone is going to set you apart and put you at top 1% of entry-level engineers. And the topic about AI, just listen, AI isn't here to take your job. Or better still, let me rephrase this. If you sit down and worry about AI taking your job without making any effort to still make yourself relevant, then yes, you are the person at the higher risk of AI taking their job. You need to learn how to use AI to solve problems faster and write better code. And of course, there's some kind of gray area here for those people who are still learning how to code. In that situation, using AI to help you solve problems or to help you write cleaner code wouldn't directly benefit you. Because think about this, if you keep using AI to, help you solve your problems, help you, debug your code, when you don't really understand how that code works or you don't really understand what you're doing, then there's really no learning taking place. Like, it's just you giving someone else your work to get it done for you. But if you're a software engineer that understands what you're doing, you understand how the code works, you can definitely use AI to help you write better code and help you solve problems faster. There's a difference between using AI to help you solve your problems in all and using AI to help you solve your problems faster. So the whole story is that the game has changed, but you can still win. It just means that you have to adapt, stay curious, and honestly, be ready to go the extra mile. It's no longer easy. Tech is no longer easy money. Software engineering is no longer easy money. You need to work your ass off to earn a living as a software engineer. I just want to say thank you for watching. If you have any questions, any concerns, drop them in the comment section. I'm going to try my possible best to answer every single question you have or any single concern you have. And also, guys, I've linked Omar's, Jubril's, and Victor's social media accounts in the description. Go follow them, check them out. They are also amazing tech creators just like myself, and I guarantee you're going to learn something from their accounts. So go ahead, click the link in the description, go follow them, subscribe to their YouTube channels, and I promise you're going to learn something. And also don't forget to check out Victor's insider moves. I was absolutely astonished when I saw what he was working on. It is truly amazing. And especially if you're into stocks and trading, that platform is invaluable to you. Also, don't forget to go check out Datacamp's course to help you level up your skills in AI development and integration. Like we talked about in this video, the game has changed and you need to adapt. And the way you need to adapt is to learn how to integrate AI into your workflow and learn how to develop this AI and ML models. And Datacamp has been the best platform that I have found out that has helped me level up my AI and ML development skills. And again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you found this helpful, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.